Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. This is Naaman with the Great Millstone Camp here in D.C. Back for another video, but first and foremost, call Halal Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua, Ba'Hashem Rakahakwadash, and of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, pushing the truth across four corners of the earth. Of course, aided by the many videos that are uploaded on a daily, all right, that are out there for everyone's edification, if they choose to do so. All right. And these videos and go throughout the whole earth. All right. While we try to wake up the remaining hopeful elect of our people. All right, so we can get up out of here. And also, hey, I know a lot of you that are aware of what's going on. You're tired of these fucking Edomites. They got to go. And all these attacks as of late, something's up. And again, this is, let me get the scripture here. We know all too well the machinations of this devil. It's 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And when we go into that devices, what is that? Strong's G 3540. All right, Noima. All right. It's his mind, his thought, all right, his disposition, his purpose, and that is to cause chaos, all right, wickedness. And that's what this devil is about. But hey, we're on to him, and he knows it. All right, he knows he has but a short time, as it says in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. So you're seeing things speed up, all right? You really are. And they are trying to implement this digital monetary system, all right, because the aim, of course, as in white supremacy, Edomite supremacy, is total control. Again, 2 Thessalonians 2nd chapter, he has a God complex. Isaiah 14th chapter, all right? We're talking about the same man here. So, what we're going to do in this video is go on these rats. All right, first and foremost, let me get this out the way. This is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. However, nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use, because I do not intend to profit off of this whatsoever. It's just as a teaching instrument. All right, so let's get this first clip. You want to know why they're after Maduro so hard? Let's go.
Esos judíos de las 12 tribus, que no son los que mandan hoy en el Estado de Israel. Los que hoy gobiernan Netanyahu.
What?
No es judío auténtico.
It's not a Jew.
Él es un cambalache que viene por allá de Polonia. Para los que les gusta hablar de religiones y dicen que esto es un conflicto religioso. No, esto no es un conflicto religioso. El conflicto que hay
has echoes of Gamal Abdel Nasser back in the 50s, right? The then president of Egypt. Huh. See, the world, and it's their fault actually, since that October 7th, 2023 bullshit story that came out about and I came out with a video last week, and I used an article by Jeff Rentz. I think it was 2011 or was it 2005? I can't remember, but it had to do with what's called covert aggression and how they scheme and win over everybody's sympathy because they use these false flag and attacks, and this has been going on since they've been over there, all right, since the 40s. The King David Hotel in 47? You can look it up, the King David Hotel. They actually killed British soldiers in that, all right, to try to, and in that article it tells you this is what they do. They'll go in, cross the borders, and go in and instigate shit and then come back and say, well, these people, when they respond, you know, elementary school shit. When you, when you would get the other guy in trouble because you hit them and then they respond and the teacher sees them. It's the same fucking concept. All right. And, people have had enough. The world sees through their bullshit. All right. And they, like I said, they know if they have a short time.
Desde la fundación del Estado de Israel es un conflicto geopolítico, porque ese Estado lo crearon para conquistar todo el Medio Oriente y Asia Central.
And he's right. People have said that what you're witnessing, as I've said in the past, all right, in real time, is what happened from 1492 up until now. It's a continuation. It's the same fucking people. All right. It's Edomite / white supremacy with a yarmulke. It's the same fucking people. There is no difference. They are Edomites. It doesn't matter if they call themselves Jews, they call themselves French, they call themselves German, Russian, whatever. It's the same race of people. You're seeing the same colonial, colonizing bullshit from the time of Columbus.
Darle las riquezas y colonizar esos pueblos. Es el proyecto sionista que dicen que van desde el río Jordán hasta el Éufrates y más allá.
So what do you think? Don't worry, we got more. What's on these bastards' mind?
Hey, black people are supposed to be slaves. Black people are supposed to be inferior. And they pointed out to the curse of Ham. Now, it happens to be that Jewish law permits the enslavement.
And that's the problem with you idiots out there. Not all people who are dark-skinned are Canaanites or Hamites. All right, and that's what allowed people to fall for this bullshit, the curse of Ham.
Of any non-Jew, white or black. That's another question which got raised. But that has nothing to do with racism. That's just a heter that we are allowed to enslave.
Why? Because they stole our identity. All right. And as such, they trying to say that they will rule over all of us. All right. Which is what? Prophecy. Which is still yet to come. These are not the people. All right. That's why they call us Goy and Goyim and all this. All right. And because that's how they look at us, because they actually think that they've pulled this off and that their scheme is going to work. And you stupid ass Christians, they use and exploited the fuck out of you, especially America. All right. A lot of you Jake too. All right. Because these so-called white people, these Edomites over here, all right, they really, and you have to understand who shed the most blood. All you hear is Muslims this, Muslims bad, blah, 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 blah. But who shed the most blood? It was the Christians. It was the so-called white Christians. Again, from the time of Columbus. Think about that.
Non-Jewish populations, perhaps to bring them to
So what he's saying right here doesn't matter. All you motherfuckers are our slaves. That's what he's saying to sum it up. All right, this rabbi here.
So bring them to Torah and the like, but it's not a black thing.
See? Let's get another one. Who was what they called Jesus? Now listen to this. This is in the Talmud, as a matter of fact. In a pool of boiling excrement.
הוא עבר עבירות קשות מתחילה הוא היה סוטה.
זה נכון שהוא כאילו לתמיד שם?
Have the nerve to call someone else a pervert.
זה לתמיד?
כן, מה יש?
So, let's go to the roots of that. Let's see. So, and this comes from that, this racist asshole here. He was the second in the line of their so-called great. You study the Masoretes, when these bastards came out of the caves, circa, they supposedly converted, what was it, 740 AD, all right, we're talking about the empire there. They studied, and this was the second time they were converted in mass, all right, when you go from the time of John Hyrcanus. So Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki, whatever the fuck, but that's his real name. And then he took on, they call him Rashi, and they love this motherfucker. All right, he's one of some, you read some of his commentary, talking about how ugly we were, and that our members, meaning our rods, were shamefully elongated and all that shit. When you get into that, I mean, well, this is who they revere here. Rabbi Rashi. All right. Let's go back. Yeah, he was a racist piece of shit. Here it is. All right, this is Gittim 57a. We start at the top. That which he decreed against himself, as he undergoes the following: every day his ashes are gathered, and they judge him, and they burn him, and they scatter him over the 7 seas. Ankelos then went and raised Balaam from the grave through necromancy. See, this is all you have to. Man, I'm telling you, he said to him, "Who is most important in that world where you are now?" And Balaam had said to him, the Jewish people. See, Ankelos asked him, "Should I then attach myself to them here in this world?" Balaam said to him, "Ye shall not seek their peace or their welfare all the days." And he says, see Deuteronomy 23:7. All right, so here they go on that subject. He says, "What is the punishment of that man?" A euphemism for Balaam himself in the next world. Balaam said to him, "He is cooked in boiling semen, as he caused Israel to engage in licentious behavior with the daughters of Moab." Ankelos then went and raised Jesus the Nazarene from the grave through necromancy. Ankelos said to him, "Who is most important in that world where you are now?" Jesus said to him, "The Jewish people." Ankelos asked him, "Should I then attach myself to them in this world?" Jesus said to him, "Their welfare you shall seek, their misfortune ye shall not seek. For anyone who touches them is regarded as if he were touching the apple of his eye." You see how they have written themselves into that which belongs to us? Ankelos said to him, "What is the punishment of that man?" A euphemism for Jesus himself in the next world. Jesus said to him, "He is punished with boiling excrement. As the Master said, anyone who mocks the words of the sages will be sentenced to boiling excrement. And this was his sin, as he mocked the words of the sages." Wow. What blasphemous bullshit. That's these folks. These are the ones that run the world by deceit. All right. They even set this guy up, the Dalai Lama. Let's see, I had something else. Oh yeah, this is one.
On March 19th, 1920.
Why don't schools teach children about the Talmudic Bolsheviks killing millions of Orthodox Christians? Why don't they?
22. Lenin sends the following directive to the Politburo. We must pursue the removal of church property. We must smash the clergy most decisively and ruthlessly, and put down all resistance with such brutality that they will not forget it for several decades.
И членами его являлись примерно 80-85% евреев.
What did Putin say?
Примерно 80-85%.
And up to 80 to 85% of the first Soviet Union government members were Jews. Who do you think had the Tsar killed? Tsar Nicholas II and his whole family.
5% евреев.
It's so much out there. All right. So much out there. Now let's see what else I got here.
Facts are facts. We're going to get a little deeper here now, so you understand who your enemy is. Esau Edom is modern Jewry. It comes right out of the 1925 Jewish Encyclopedia, Volume 5, page 41. Who are the Edomites? Esau Edom is modern Jews. Edomites are from Edomia, not of true Israel the man, once called Jacob, or his son Judah. Jews were never slaves in Egypt with Moses, as even the Jews confessed in John 8:31. So Jews cannot be the racial Israelites of Israel the man once called Jacob of the Bible, despite what you or your Bible says or what your lying preacher or priest has to say. Strictly speaking, it is incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew, or to call a contemporary Jew an Israelite or a Hebrew. That comes right out of the Jewish Almanac of 19...
This is why it is illegal, all right, to get DNA test over there in Israel. They are frauds. They've tried to keep a cap on it for so long, but it's out there. So now they have to hurry this through, because what they're trying to do is get it to a point where it doesn't matter what you know about them. There'll be a complete control of you. And if you do not go along with what they want, they can just cut you off from this new system, and you'll be totally locked out. So one might could say, thank you, you stupid ass Christians, for going, I'm talking about you Jakes primarily, for going along with this bullshit. All right, you've been deceived. You're so proud you don't even want to admit it. All right, it's one thing not to know. It's another thing to be willfully ignorant.
1980, page 3. Thus, Jews know that they themselves are self-confessed frauds. They are not God's chosen people. They are not the Israelites of old, of the man called Israel, and they are not the Hebrews of old. Plain and simple. They're a bunch of lying, filthy, communist Jews is what they are.
And these are his fellow Edomites. So here's the thing. When shit is going down, how many of these Jakes you think gonna jump in and try to save everything? Myself, and I'm sure quite a few of the other brethren, are just gonna sit back and laugh, because hey, you've been warned. You know, who was that, Sun Tzu, or who they say when your enemy is destroying himself, you know, hey, just sit back. I'm paraphrasing. You know, why would you want to interfere? They're your enemy. Let's close this out. Let's get a few scriptures. Let's see. Let's go to Proverbs. 26. And start at 24. It says the words, wait a minute. He that hateth disassembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. You got to remember, this woman that's in prison now for being a partner with Jeffrey Epstein, her father printed and issued out the books in the majority of the schools, especially my generation coming up. All right. So, you know, we had all these lies crammed down our throat, shit that they wanted us to know. All right. Not the truth, but their truth. All right. He that hateth disassembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. Whose hatred is covered. All these petty ass laws. Nothing has changed since. As pertaining to our people. For some reason they have a misconception about being free. You don't understand what freedom is, apparently. You know, everybody has that date that was programmed into our people. 1865, you were free. That's it. They don't consider how shit was changed in order to deceive us and make us think, when all the time, you know, the prison industrial complex, Jim Crow, all that, you know, the lynchings, you know, what all that resulted in the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, which were strictly for us, but everybody used the 14th Amendment to come over to this bitch, all right, and basically eat at the table that we set up through our hard labor, our blood, sweat, and tears, and our deaths, our murders. So everybody is allowed to come over and eat at our table when we weren't even allowed. What I mean by that, everything we tried to build and prosper at was sabotaged. Yeah. Even to this day, there was and this is another problem with Jake. I had commented a couple of weeks back, I guess, maybe more, maybe about closer to a month ago. There's Jake in Texas. Now, why you always want to tell somebody you're going to do something? Why don't you just do it? And that's a problem with Jake, running your fucking mouth. But in any case, he wanted to build a community for Jake, you know, like the guy in Arkansas, you know. But motherfuckers came out of nowhere. Oh, no, you can't do that. You know, you got to set up, you got to have, and even a Jake, I think, is high up in the government in Texas. They all came after this guy. Willie D did a video on it on his channel. I forget what the title is, but no, he was pissed too. Said, why you want to tell everybody what you're doing? Just do it, you know? But in any case, this is, you know, we're supposed to be pilgrims. This isn't our rest here. That's something else that Jake does not understand. You know, this is, you think this is the kingdom? Hell no. All right, this place is marked for destruction. We're trying to do the right thing by repenting, and we're trying to tell you these things. You know, get yourself in order. Or Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. All right? Because this is transitory here. You know, 2 Peter 3, 10 and 11. Knowing that this is, you're just passing through, what are you supposed to focus on? Let's go over that real quick. All right? Supposed to focus on material things and all that's going to be? Well, this scriptures tell you. This is 2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Most High will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what are you supposed to be focusing on? Going to school and accumulating a lot of debt that you will be probably in your 50s or 60s until you can pay it back. You're supposed to be focusing on that? No. It says, seeing then that all these things should be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in holy conversation, your conduct, and godliness? All right? Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. It's telling you this kingdom of the Edomites here is going to be dissolved. That's the heaven it's referring to. All right? His rulership. It also tells you in Isaiah 14, Isaiah 51 and 14, excuse me. It says, the captive exile, which we are, we're here in captivity still. All right, Baruch 3 and 8. It says, the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed. All right, and that he should not die in the pit. The system is a pit. All right, designed to keep Jake where Jake is. Nor that his bread should fail. All right, and our bread has failed in all sense of the matter. We're limited. You know, how dare you do anything that might be for nation building? What I said just a few moments ago about everything we've done to kind of be self-reliant. No, everything was sabotaged, and all you hear is, well, they're always on welfare, they're lazy. And who wants to stay in this shit? All right? You're never going to win. That's my point. This is how this is designed. Who would want to remain in some shit like this? Therefore, the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed. Duh. And that he should not die in the pit or the system, nor that his bread should fail. All right. So with that, yeah, we want release from this wicked ass jail that we're in as a people. You know, this is our punishment. We're still, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel, yes, but we're not out yet. So it's like, don't get cocky. All right. It says, he that endureth until the end. Until the end. All right. This devil is going down. He's going to ramp it up. That's why Revelation 12 and 12 and Daniel 12 and 1. All right. Those are important scriptures. Just letting you know. We're going to see the Edomites from the 1400s on up through the 20th century. All right. That's the type of Edomite we're getting ready to see again. So the whole thing is to prepare yourself. That's why we're out there on the highways and the byways. We're out there on the tower, all right, being those watchmen, trying to tell our people what the hell is coming your way. But a lot of you refuse to listen, so you get caught up. We've done what we're supposed to do. I said I was going to end it there, but let's get this. This is what we're supposed to do. All right. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require thine hand. And we don't want that. All right? That's where another scripture says, knowing the fear of the Lord. All right? And I'll get that after this. 2 Corinthians 5 and 11, it says, Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul. That's the thing. We want that blood off of our hands because we know, as I just alluded to, all right, we know what the Lord is capable of, all right. 2 Corinthians 5:11, knowing therefore the terror of the Most High. Another scripture says the king of terrors. All right. We persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High, and our trust also are made manifest in your consciences. All right. So there we go. I'm gonna end it there. And this is just 2025 winding down, and all this shit is happening. All right. It's like I always tell you at the end of my videos, be circumspect, especially now. All right, because you see all this stuff, and we know that it's bullshit, like that shit that happened in Australia. All right, with those crisis actors, you know, but they're trying to garner support. All right, for those frauds over there and wherever they are, wherever else they are in the world, those people pretending to be us, you know, the Israelis. So with that, hey, until the next video, hey, shalom.